Yo, man, look, crazy thing just didn't happen. We just sitting backstage just talking. Boy, you know it been a long ass last 2 days. I've been down and out a little bit under the weather, and my boy A1 been knocking out hard digest. It been a lot, boy. Look, that's why I tell y'all, man, get your rest. Cause boy, we done thought we pressed the live button, and we just backstage talking, think we talking to y'all, and man, we just back there bullshit.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Boy,
I like,
that's a laugh for the night, boy.
bro,
You
I
got
was
to
like,
laugh
Smitty.
sometime, bro.
I'm just looking. I'm like, wait a
Oh
minute. I
man,
said, Smitty, are we even live? And they look like, bro, what's happening?
I ain't seen no live pop up, no views, no nothing. I'm like, damn, what that? Boy, we
Oh,
look.
boy.
Whew.
Yeah,
But
another
but
episode.
but
Yeah, man.
but we gonna start it off just like we did. Uh, yeah, man. I've been a little under the weather the last 2 days. That's why I ain't dropped no videos. But I'm gonna catch back up on 2 days behind. But at the same time, hey man, I give it to y'all the best I can. Me and A1, like I said, he been working on Hot Digest, and the Hot's been making big moves. And like I said backstage while we thought we were live, what you think about that trade? Because I actually like the trade, man. Jacques Landale, 26 points, 11 rebounds, first game, 5 blocks, I mean 5 or 6, 4 blocks. Very solid game, man. Third time may be a charm for that kid. So what you think about that trade, man? I know you covered it, but what you think about it?
Oh shoot, man! I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed the trade. When I said when we first got him, I was like, it's gonna be a guy that Quinn Snyder can still use. It's not like you're gonna lose any kind of spacing or anything because he is a stretch five. He's 6'11". You know, some Hawks need paint presence. So at the end of the day, like he came in, he drove 5.5 hours just to get to Atlanta after the trade because he had to get off the plane because he was on the way to Utah, but he had to get off the plane. He drove to Atlanta to be able to still be able to get some practice in and be able to play in the game, played in the game. And honestly, we needed all the points that he provided, everything that he provided. You know, just the first game, but heck of a debut. You know, I'm saying one of the best debuts since Glenn Rice back in 2002 as a Hawk. So yeah, man.
Man, Glenn Robinson, you mean?
hmm
Glenn Robinson. I don't think
Yeah,
we
Glenn
know.
Roberts. What I say, Glenn
Yeah,
Rice?
Glenn Rice. I might be wrong, but and trust me when I tell you, I don't want to get into specifics. But been feeling under the weather, but I mustered up some strength to jump on live for y'all tonight. Everyone been busy at work and doing Hall Digest, so he been double teaming things, man. So yeah, that's why we late tonight, man. We just got to find time.
Mm-hmm.
Big bro, what's good? What's good? Yeah, Falcon looking different so far, my guy. We'll see how much more they look different, in due time. Our Angel was up early, man. We were supposed to jump on, man, but like I said, things happen. Shout out to Archangel, man. Always supporting the channel. Um, Daryl said we need to get Winston to be bridge back up and play 9. He has a 1 year chance, but actually he's on the contract with the Giants, so he will not be an Atlanta Falcon this year. MPJ, the ATL has your back. Huckerbuck, absolutely. King ATL
Mm-hmm.
supporter, what's good? Philip Bonner, what's good, my guy? Big Buck said MP business, man. Absolutely.
Hey man,
Absolutely.
we're gonna get
Hey,
into it.
big bro, I know it's you, man. I know it's you, my guy. You know I know.
Yes, sir.
What's good? John Higgins. My
24K.
cousin. Hey, he gave me the name
Uncle
Smooth Smitty, so
Lou.
he get all the love, man. He get all the love from my
Uncle
boy.
Lou, what
Hey
it
man,
do?
look, Big John gave me that name, man, and when I'm in the street, that's the first thing I hear. Smooth Smitty, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you got that smooth name. I said, like every other name, it was given to me, man.
There it
Uncle
is.
Lou, what's good, man? Uncle Lou, what it do?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this thing going, man. Chris, go on and kick it off, my guy.
Hey man, Michael Penix Jr. He's been getting around right now, you know, Super Bowl weekend. And you know, he was on the Up and Adams show. Miss K Adams, you know, shout out to her. And we're going to go over a couple of videos, a couple of things that he was saying. Had some comments about Matt Ryan, comments about Coach Stefanski, and even about his own self and his health. So we're going to get into each video in its own right, and then have a little discussion about how we feel about different things, about the different comments, and of course, as always, we will love you guys' thoughts. Well, as we know, not everybody follows Twitter or even follows the really just like the sports channels like that. So at the end of the day, here is your time to come in and talk about it.
Facts. Well, the first one that we gonna share with y'all, man, is the schedule that he's on. He's saying that he's a little bit ahead of schedule, but let's keep it real, man. When you talk about a schedule from an ACL, like I tell y'all, I'm praying everything go right. I'm praying that he is ready for week 1, so we won't have to pay another quarterback. We're gonna have to pay 3 already, because you got to pay Kurt, even though if you cut him, you got to pay Mike, and you got to pay the backup. So you're paying 3 quarterbacks. If you bring in a third string, even if he's practice squad, you got to pay him too. So let's see what he had to say about suffering that season-ending knee surgery, and saying he's a little bit ahead of schedule, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm doing real good right now. I just met with my doctor yesterday. He likes where I'm at, and we starting to get things going. I'm doing a lot of strengthening and stuff right now, so I know I'll be back and ready whenever the time comes.
Has it been like a test of patience? What have you learned about yourself through the process? It happened week 11.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
I wouldn't say too much of a test. I kind of knew what to expect. It's my 3rd time going through it now, so I kind of knew what to expect, and I knew how to attack the rehab process so that I can be better after.
Do you think you're ahead of schedule?
I think
schedule?
I'm maybe a little bit ahead.
Week 1's coming.
It is.
Is that your goal, week 1?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I hope to see you out there. That'd be amazing.
All right. So the first one, he talks about, being ahead of the schedule and all that good stuff. And we talked about it just a little bit on the show. But he's doubling down on that. So are you buying into that? He's actually a little bit ahead of schedule. Like 2012, I think Adrian Peterson was just a genetic beast. He was just something that with his genes that helped him heal in 9 months. Can Michael Penix pull it off too? And actually, Adrian Peterson came back in 8 months. So can Penix pull it off too?
I mean, I'm not going to rule anybody out or count him out about his recovery. My thing is, even if he does do it, even if Michael Penix is out there week 1, at the end of the day, I need 100% Penix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need him to be 100% because that's our possible franchise quarterback we're talking about here. I don't need him rushing himself, but at the end of the day, we have to look at it from this standpoint too. Me personally, I've never had an ACL tear, so I don't even know what it feels like. It's a God forbid I ever do. But at the same time, I look at it as this: he has gone through it before, because he said it. He was like, "Hey, this is like my 3rd time going through it." I'm not saying that he should get used to it, but at least he does know like a routine of like, okay, this is what I have to do. This is what I'm going to have to do in order to strengthen it. I'm saying? I can't make this sudden move. I can't do that sudden move. So maybe like understanding like the process from the previous experiences maybe help him in this experience. I know that he's talking about he's doing weight training and doing the squatting and everything. We've heard those type of things like that. And you having that bending. And it's so funny because the whole topic of him bending his knees and having a problem bending his knees, it was so funny. And it's kind of, when you look at it, it's like messages within the show. He's sitting down, and that couch is kind of low. If you go back to it,
it's low. It's actually
it is kind of low. And so there's plenty of bending of the surgically repaired knees, both of them. I mean, there's plenty of bending there going on. So, I mean, he's going around and just really I feel like doubling down on it, standing on the business to say, hey, look, I'm working on it. I'm going to be fine. But I do understand what you're saying too, though, Smitty, as far as like, can he do it and should he do it? All that good stuff I do, because at the end of the day, this is, like I said in the beginning, our potentially franchise quarterback right here. And I don't want to rush him at all. That's just the whole point, Smitty. I don't want to rush him at all. At the end of the day, I want him 100% fully. I don't need 80. I don't need 90. I need 100% regardless, so he can be the best version of himself. Right, Smith?
Right. And think about it too, man. That Stephen A. Smith, when he say he talked to people, I don't know who the hell he was talking to. When he said he talked to people around the league that said he wasn't up under center because he couldn't bend his knees. If you had any common sense, you wouldn't damn believe that. Because at the end of the day, you have to bend your knees, pretty much do everything. Put on your shoes. You have to tie your damn shoes, bend your knees. But the thing is, we were always lied to is that is how the Falcons got the best out of him. Out of the pistol offense to get him a shorter time to throw and to get the ball out quicker. That's what we were told. But now you get the media saying that he can't bend his knees to get up under center. What did he tell us in that video that we showed everybody? I can do what you need me to do. I was going with the game plan. I was doing what I was told. So come on, man. Let's keep it real.
Man. It was just a few things that just you look at in that video, just his whole movement. He didn't look like he was uncomfortable or anything. Like I said, that couch was pretty low. Yeah, those chairs and everything they sit in, those things are pretty low. And I just feel like, he is trying to prove a point. But we got to keep it real too, Smitty. The only way that you can truly prove a point about your recovery is when you hit that field again.
Facts. That first hit. Yep. First hit.
Oh, man.
Tonio said, do you think we could get Trinidad Chambliss to compete with Penix? I think he'll be a day 3 guy. He wanted to go back to school for one more year, but he was denied by the NCAA. And I get why they're trying to cut down on that. So he was denied. My boy, Let's Get It asked me the same question about him and Carson Beck. I think Chambliss kind of reminds me of a Baker Mayfield, with the way he plays the game of football. He's a gunslinger. He's not scared to make plays. He can take off and run when need to, and he can make, deep passes downfield. So I think, if we think about it, it'll probably be day 3 and probably 6th or 7th round. But again, shit, who knows? He could be an undrafted free agent that we could bring in.
I was just about to say, what's the chance of him going undrafted and then possibly brought in?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I could definitely see it. Yeah, it would be very interesting. That boy Nando says Steve Smith, king of clickbait.
Yeah, man.
That's facts. That's facts, D Grill. That's facts. H.O., what's up, my guy?
What it do, H.O.?
Yeah, man. So as we looking at it, man, yeah, I think he'll be back on track. But I'm gonna stick to what I said. If he does start the season, that's fine. But I'm giving him till week 5. I say he starts the season on IR, and they open up that window, and he may come back then. But honestly, depending on where we are with record and how everything is flowing, I don't think you mess with that. Depending on when he comes back, so that's going to be a big key. But
Christian, I can definitely see that first 4 games. I can definitely see it.
Facts.
But we'll see. We'll see what we get to it. What's the next one though? We got 2 more.
All right, you're gonna talk about Kevin Stefanski in this clip, and this is what we wanted to hear because Matt Ryan actually talked about Kevin Stefanski a little bit and why they hired him. And it's pretty much as I told y'all, man, from the jump. Michael Penix was a big key as to why Kevin Stefanski was hired because he's coached quarterback for 20 years, so it's one of his strengths. And sometimes with the quarterback position, how we've struggled, and just like 803 asked me, 803 Tonio asked earlier about Chambliss, this is why I have no problem with Chambliss coming on because we got a head coach that's an offensive guy. He brought his own offensive coordinator that coached at 2 levels, and he's surrounded that offensive coordinator with a quarterback coach and I think a passing game coordinator with 2 former offensive coordinators. So this is a quarterback heavy coaching staff, like we were told it last time, but we seen that was a lie. But this time, it absolutely is the truth. So let's see what you have to say about Kevin Stefanski.
Was the first interaction with Stefanski a phone call or in person?
The first one was a phone call. I don't even know if he was in Atlanta yet. I think he was still trying to move all his stuff. So he called me like that same day, and we had a conversation.
Can you take me like into the conversation? I don't want to know the details, but like I guess I want to know the dominant feeling that you had, the feeling you had after talking to him.
No, it felt great. I feel like for him, for me, I feel like I'm a family oriented guy, and I love my family and I love the people around me, and I put my family over football. I go faith family football. So he asked me about my family. So I was excited to be able to hear him ask me about that. And it wasn't just like straight to football. He wanted to get to know me
Really?
as a person. So that was really good.
And then the second meeting was like, let's talk ball.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Have you sat with him yet?
It was quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. He was in and out of the building. Obviously, he still has his family, back in Cleveland and stuff like that. So he's been trying to settle in. So.
Michael, how excited are you for him to take this team to that next step?
I'm very excited. I hear nothing but great things about the offense, and I'm super excited. I hear that this offense will definitely bring the best out of me and allow me to play very good football. So I look forward to it.
So now y'all get my point as to what I was saying. He said he's gonna bring the best out of him. So again, this is why Kevin Stefanski was brought in to coach up these quarterbacks and get the best out of these quarterbacks. Because if we had better quarterback play last year and the year before, possibly 2 straight playoff seasons. But again, we back onto this losing streak, adding on to it to 8 straight. It don't need to be 9 straight. It don't need to be 10 straight. It needs to end this year. And if everything is coming along like I think it is, I think that playoff drought ends this year because we were about 5 plays from being a playoff team last year. So and 2 missed kicks. So it's got to get better. But go ahead.
No, you're true. That's true, man. But also just think about also bringing in 2 former offensive coordinators. They come in to help as well, man. It's going to be a collective effort. And Michael Penix, all he has to do is soak up the information, go out there, execute. Well, soak up the information, process the information, go out there on the field and execute so we can get the success. And if he can just do that, so I feel like, everything, all this have been all worth it. As far as having to wait and all that good stuff like that, I know he's going through it with setbacks, but moving forward, if Kevin Stefanski and and Ingstrand, and you also having forgot my other man's name,
Tommy Reese.
No, well, yeah, he'll be around too. Now I'm talking about Van Pelt. That's what I was going to call him, Scott Van Pelt. I just didn't want to do that and everything. But yeah, Alex Van Pelt.
A long night.
Just didn't want to do him like that. But yeah, but my point is, you have all those minds, those offensive minds. I believe what you're going to have to do is really just break down find all the things that he do well. Okay, sit that to the side. Now look at all the things that he doesn't do well and attack those head on. I feel like once you do that, you can find yourself having a complete quarterback as long as you're keeping him upright, healthy, etc.
Facts. And just to add on to that just a little bit, I just think point blank period, seeing what Scott Van Pelt has done now you got me saying that shit. Alex Van Pelt, see what Alex Van Pelt has done the last 5 years, knowing he worked with Drake May just a couple of years ago, working with guys like J.P. Lossman, bringing him up as a young guy. It lets me know that he can work with young quarterbacks. And we talk about Michael Penix's footwork. We talk about, his ability to read coverage, knowing where he is on the field at all times. A great quarterback coach and a great, offensive mind will help him get over that, especially in the film room, especially with that reading the field, because those intentional grounding calls were just idiotic. And it's not on him all the way. I'm just saying the coaches let him down last year. I thought the way he played those 3 games at the end of 2024 was a clear sign that he was ready to take over and going into 2025 was going to be that guy. But Zach Robinson, Raheem Morris, and that coaching staff let him down, because after Zach Robinson, they didn't have nobody to challenge Zach Robinson. This is why the Falcons offense sputtered. If they had the proper coaches behind Zach, it would have picked Zach up, made him better. And this is why Kevin Stefanski brought these guys in. But
hey,
ATL Homer said, go ahead. Then I read this question. Go ahead.
Okay. The thing, one last thing about Alex Van Pelt. The things that really just have me having so much confidence about Alex and really just like having so much faith that he can turn Michael Penix and, like you said, getting the best out of him. I mean, he's going to be one part of it. But just think about all the quarterbacks that he's worked with. He has worked with Baker Mayfield, the Browns, Baker Mayfield, but at the end of the day, they won a playoff game. Think about it. Drake May, who is now about to play into the Super Bowl. Then you go back, Joe Flacco, old veteran, old gunslinger, but still been able to get the production out of him. MVP, Aaron Rodgers, with the Packers. That year, he won MVP when he was there. And guess what? Guess who else just won MVP? And Van Pelt was just working with him. Matthew Stafford.
That guy in Los Angeles. But you want to hear another good stat about what you talked about with Baker Mayfield? Another quick stat.
What you got?
Baker Mayfield in his third season exactly when he turned it around. Yeah, he threw a lot of interceptions his first two seasons. I think about 35, if I'm not mistaken. But that third season, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, that was all Kevin Stefanski. Michael Penix going to his third season. And we talked about last season, why does he have more touchdown passes than he has? Because you're not calling the proper plays at the proper time. It's called situational play calling for a reason. When that situation is not right, guess what? It's not going to work. So, look, just think about that. Think about that. But ATL Homer, quick question. He said, did y'all hear about Bijan saying Stefanski will be calling plays instead of Tommy Reese at the Pro Bowl festivities? I'm still not going to buy into that. He probably was. And see, they don't really know yet. They don't really know until they get, into the coaching and film room and all that. Then they'll find everything else out. So, we'll wait to see what happens. So HO said, so y'all think KC may be gone because from what I understand, the old group is redid his contract, not the new group. Yeah, he's still gone. I still think he's gone. Now, like Chris said, now you tell him what you said, Chris. I'll let you tell it.
What about Kirk Cousins? Oh, man, it's always still going to be that option. Again, I don't like the option, but I'm just thinking about the connections. Kirk Cousins is going to be cut. At the end of the day, you possibly may end up seeing him. If all else fails, you can possibly see him back in Atlanta because if all else fails for him and for the Falcons can't find a natural fit for the bridge, and if Kirk Cousins can't find a starting job, both entities could come together again to reunite on a lesser contract.
I mean, it won't be a less for him because he's gonna get paid either way. He's gonna get paid $27 million. So if he comes back, we hoping that it'll be on a vet minimum for 1 year. Because he's getting 27.5 anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So it just, it really would be nothing. Like it almost would be like how he was going to, like how Russell Westbrook. Why am I still in basketball mode? But Russell Wilson.
You need to tighten up.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Westbrook
when he left the Broncos. Yeah, when he left the Broncos, so they pretty much was just like, we're going to pay you. Just get out of here. But, Kirk Cousins, I can see.
And that was a vet minimum. It was what, A1 about about 2 or 3 million? Somewhere in there.
I think it wasn't
much. Yeah, it wasn't much.
But yeah,
again,
I don't like it.
That's what's.
Thank you, fam.
And while we going, man, y'all drop them super chats. I don't care if it's $2, man. Drop it in there. Support your boy. Truly appreciate it. Tonio, I did say this before, and I stick by it. However, I will say this. If they go ahead and extend him right now this year, with that year on still left on his contract, that will help with cap space. So, they should do that this year.
We'll see what happens by the trade deadline. Let's say that. I don't think they do it in the offseason. I think they still want to kind of see like Jesse and Xavier next to one another, but we'll see what happens by the trade deadline, man. You never know.
Demetrius, I'm looking at that right now. I'm putting out a defensive tackle this weekend, actually. So stay tuned for that. But let's get into this last part. What it would be talking about.
Old Matty.
He talks about Matt Ryan. And we've giving Matt Ryan grief already, and he's just starting. But y'all got to understand, Matt Ryan has a system that he's trying to bring together as a whole, and he's got to put the right personnel in that system for it to work properly. So we've got to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. And if we wait and see, then I guarantee you everything will fall in place. But let's hear what Mike had to say about old Matty Ice right quick. Oh. I bet I'm moving too fast. Got to bring it up. Put it on the screen for y'all. Then y'all can hear it.
I was about to say,
Told you, man, it's been a long day.
Weird.
Oh, man, it's been a long
I'd like
day.
to know how you view the advantage of having Matt Ryan back in the building, in charge, as far as a quarterback to quarterback. Like, what is the best use of that resource?
I feel like he knows how to win. He knows how to win here, and that's the biggest thing. He knows how to win here. He knows what it looks like, and
MVP.
Yeah, MVP. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I feel like I got a lot of respect to him and what he's done for the Falcons organization and his career. In general. So to be able to have him in the building, to be able to have him as a resource, somebody that, I know I can go to at any point to ask his perspective on different things, playing the position. That's
Did he say that? Did he say, reach out to me? What's been the message from him?
No, for him, he's just always like, hey, I'm open. You can call my phone whenever, we can go sit down and get lunch whenever, he's a guy that he has no ego at all. He's never been, nothing but genuine to me, and just always giving me whatever resources I need.
And a lot of people don't understand the reason why Matt Ryan was given that position. He actually talked about it on the Pat McAfee show. The reason he was given that position because his ties to the organization, his leadership skills, and just his relationship with Arthur Blank overall. And Arthur Blank really said in so many words that, when you build a relationship with somebody and that trust builds and he feels like he can do the job, I think Matt Ryan can do that job. And a lot of people are kind of upset about it, talking about how did he just skip the line and jump into that position. But you got to understand, when players play for a certain organization, no matter if they're there for a long time or not, just think about it. When you build a relationship with the owner and the owner sees you as front office material, that automatically jumps you to the front of the line. Why? Because they built their trust in you. And what did I tell y'all already? Arthur Blank is not going to trust too many people. He's going to trust the people that's been around him for God knows how long. And Matt Ryan has been friends with him for 19 years. So that means a lot to some folks. But yeah, look, I agree with what he said. 100%. Miss B, what's good? I agree with what he said, but tell me what you think right quick.
Well, I mean, I just feel like it was always an advantage, man. I just look at it like things are just set up for Michael Penix to succeed. Honestly, it's going to be all on him. You think about it, he has a quarterback, former MVP, someone who loves the logo, and Matt Ryan, somebody who's played the position at the highest level, getting to the Super Bowl, multiple seasons of playing at a high level, playoff experiences, etc. I can go on about Matty, but to have that, in there as well. What's going on, Miss B? But having that advantage, and like you said, to be able to pick up the phone and like to call them, I honestly believe that Matt Ryan is going to be a little bit more involved than even we know. It could be sometimes to where, like you see, when we don't see, it's like the cameras on the quarterbacks and all the movement that's going on. It's going to be some times where, Matt may be in the film room with them. Matt may be in the private practices, looking at mechanics, all of this stuff like that. Because again, having that advantage, you got to take advantage of it. And also, again, going back to the offensive minds, having all those guys get together, Matt, Alex, Thomas, Tommy, you have all those guys getting together, Kevin, getting themselves together and trying to put together the best plan for Michael Penix to succeed for the Atlanta Falcons. And so we can go to bigger heights.
Facts. HO, thank you for that donation, my brother. Truly appreciate it. ATL say they robbed Pierce defensive rookie of the year. We're gonna get into that before we end the show. We're gonna get into that before we end the show. He said the way the media, JT, what's up? He said the way the media spent our quarterback role is crazy. I believe they all will have a change of mind by week 10. I can see that, and I pray so. Brian, people, thank you for the donation, my brother. Truly appreciate it. Said, what up, fellas? What's good? Why you think non-MPJ Jr. teammates have not come out in support of their quarterback? Oh, they supporting him. Just because you don't see it on media, they supporting him. Because when he posts on social media, they always like, they there. Yeah,
I mean, when he was posting on that well, he's had multiple posts, but especially that one when he was talking about, facing different problems and overcoming them and everything like that. Guys were in there supporting them and everything. They may haven't came out publicly, but also we haven't seen any questions that come across social media. They show us what they want to show us. So it's like at the end of the day, we don't know what questions are fully being asked. It may be a question like, hey, what you think about Michael Penix? Or you support Michael Penix or stuff like that. We haven't gotten to that part. It's going to get there, but we just haven't gotten there yet.
And I've been seeing in my comments, man, and I ain't going to put nobody on the spot. I'm going to just tell you what they said. They always think that I'm trying to shit on him, that I don't want him here. And that's not true at all. See, one thing about me, I give it to y'all the real and the uncut way. And I try to see things and give a perspective that if something happened, then y'all will say, hey, he said that and I can see that. I don't know. I want Michael Penix to be here as long. I want him to be the future of the Falcons. Why? Because he's been here 2 years already. He's tied to the team. And even if he doesn't get a fifth-year option and he plays well that fourth year, that probably is a blessing because you get to sign him to that long-term deal for a lesser value. So, yeah, it ain't that I don't want him here. It's just that I just know how the NFL being a business can, it can ruin things. And the business part of the NFL is the reason why some of these teams don't stay together. Because think about it. If they decide that he's not the guy in 27, guess what's going to happen in 28? I'm going to just keep it real. 27 draft just next year, and this is his fourth year. If they say, hey, we may need to draft a quarterback because we're unsure. And they can make that decision just from looking at the workouts in practice, looking at game film, looking at what's going on. I mean, it's just part of the business. It's just the nature of the game. Whatever a coach wants, that's what they want. It doesn't have nothing about what I want and what you want. It's what your coach sees. And I just that's why I try to be real with y'all, because as soon as something goes wrong, what y'all gonna say? Oh, he ain't had to do that. They could have found a way. No, that's just what they want.
And my thing is that's perfectly fine. Like I always say, whatever decision is being made, it just gotta work. It just gotta work.
Gotta work. As your boy would say, we gotta find a way. So they got
no more finding ways. No more. Please let that go to San Francisco. Let them find a way on defense.
Right, boy. He found his way out there, didn't he? D Mitch, what's good, man? He's I also want Cunningham to imprint all over this roster with the help of Stefanski prefers on player traits and attributes. And this goes back to what I said, D Mitch. This is what I'm saying. If Stefanski want different preferences on his team and player traits and attributes, that's what they're gonna use. That's why analytics is a big part of sports right now to help make these tough decisions. Because think about it. Do you want to make a $50 million mistake? And I'm not saying that Michael Penix is a mistake. I'm just saying in general. If you have a quarterback, do you want to make a $50 million mistake? No. So you got to get it right. Like Chris said, you got to get it right.
Got to work, man. It's got to work. But at the end of the day, I know I still believe in Michael Penix. At the end of the day, I'm going to continue to believe in Michael Penix until he completely shows me that he is incapable of really doing the job. Just straight up being like that. So, and I think, that's where a lot of his supporters are, just like we're with you until you show that you just can't do it. And when you just can't do it, that's just nothing we can do about that except go draft another quarterback and try at it again. But I want it to be Michael Penix. I want it to be MP9, engine number 9. I wanted to be him, you know what I'm saying, especially because of everything that he's already overcome. And I'm telling you, man, when you got to go to that dark room, man, and you know what I'm saying, you reevaluating life and you're looking at your body don't failed you a few times and everything, and you still overcome. There's a great story outside of that. So I'm just hoping that fate is going to be on his side, and I'm hoping that fate is on the Falcon side for once, you know. My goodness.
but he did say in that interview, A1, he did say in that interview that this is his 3rd time going through this, so he pretty much knows what to expect, and you know, and how to come back from it and how to grow with it. So that's probably what's putting him ahead of the curve, having this injury 2 times already. Now it is another knee, but at the same time, it's the same process. And this time, I think he got full reconstruction, which is going to probably put more strength in that knee. So all he has to do is build confidence. And like I said, after that first hit, we'll know exactly which way to go. But Huckabuck said this year, I think both James Pierce Jr. and Michael Penix exposed the offensive line as being serviceable at best. I know PFF ranks the offensive line as top 10 or so, but the eye test leaves a lot to be desired. And Huckabuck, you have a valid argument. But I'm gonna say it like this, and I said it before. Tyler Linderbaum will end all of your thoughts in, you know, what you feel about this, because I think when Drew Dalman left, a little bit of the Falcons offensive line left too, because every offensive line has to have that anchor on the offensive line. And you saw Alex Mack when he came over from Cleveland. I think Tyler Linderbaum can bring that same type of mean streak that they need at the center position, because he's the one that directs, you know, which way the line is going to block. He reads, you know, how the linebackers are lining up. He just reads the field, and he's in tune with the quarterback. So I feel like you put a veteran like that with a Michael Penix, that helps him as well. So I think that would be my number 1 target this offseason, because if you want that offensive line to run smooth as oil, you go get that veteran center and see how much it helps the team.
Man, I just remember those Alex Mack days, man. Todd McClure days, you know, just having that anchor, like you're saying, man, is important. It helps, like, and again, like Todd McClure said, he feels like Matt is going to have the thoughts to like build up the middle, and you have Ian Cunningham, he coming in, and what does Ian say? We're going to build up the middle. We're going to build through the trenches. We're going to make sure the trenches are taken care of. So, and you got to do that too, because that helps Michael Penix, that helps Bijan Robinson, you know, so just the whole offense as a whole.
Right. D, what's up, my guy? That's my boy D, man. He done the show with me before. And y'all always supporting the channel. Truly appreciate it. And D said the way y'all be about Vic, that's how I am about Penix. He my quarterback, you heard. And boy, they be on it with Penix. And I hate to say it, that Penix and Matt Ryan debate will never end. But I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to say it for the last time. When it comes to comparison, Vic is not in the same stratosphere as Matt Ryan. Yeah, I said it. Because you look at the quarterback position, you look at the leadership position. It's just 2 different stratospheres. When you talk about, you know, athletic ability, Michael Penix in his own stratosphere, Matt Ryan is his own stratosphere. So when it comes to that, look, it's no comparison. But I get what you're going with that, D. And thank you for supporting and putting that out there. Yeah, his body didn't fail him. He got a common football injury. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Eric Mack said, Arthur Blank said Penix knee will be better than before. And like I said, total reconstruction, yeah, it's going to be better. Thomas Davis had 3 ACL surgeries and came back beasting. And I give y'all another one. Frank Gore, he had 2 or 3 ACL injuries at Miami. He ended up playing 17 years in the NFL. So it's all in how you train your body and you keep your body up. You'll be fine. Go ahead, A1.
No, I was just saying, you just got to take care of your body. That's all it is. You know, you'll have a setback, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, Michael Penix has been through setbacks before. But again, like, he's had the mental fortitude to be able to overcome them. And that's why, like, I'm still standing with him. You know, at the end of the day, he's been through some things. You know, it's again, there's something about people who would go through things and overcome. That's what you want to. Those be like those feel good stories right there, and it feels like if Michael Penix can just put it all together with the coaching staff, the Falcons can have a real feel good story beyond just his personal life. You know what I'm saying? But again, in the football world. So again, I'm still rolling with MP9. I don't know about everybody else is doing, but I'm still rolling with him.
Josh said, GM Cunningham said his number one priority is building the trenches. And that's why I said Tyler Linderbaum will be the perfect fit for what he's trying to do. HO say, does Cunningham and Linderbaum have a connection? I don't think I think the connection there'll be is both offensive linemen because he played offensive line for a season in the NFL before he let go and got to be in the front office. And he told y'all a story about his pops and why he wanted to get into the front office and still to keep playing football. And it made sense. And look, I'm telling y'all, this offensive line will be one of the best in the NFL because of that. He knows how important it is, and Matt Ryan being a quarterback knows how important the trenches are, just period. So both of them having that in common, I think it's a home run. Miss Kiera was good. Lando said I can also see McGarry not fitting with this offensive pass blocking. He's not fleet of foot, and Callahan does like his lineman with nice feet. And I think Nando, they'll be stuck for him one more season, and I think he'll get the best out of McGarry the best he can. He had ankle surgery, so we'll see how that turns out. And Chris, can you pull up what McGarry what his cut would be pre-June 1st and post-June 1st?
Oh, okay.
I see a lot of people saying, I said it myself, but when I looked at that dead cap, I mean, it wouldn't even really make a difference. A veteran center would be great. Our O-line is good, how you grades and run blocking and pass blocking, but we are ready to rock with this vet center. Yeah, we got to get one, man. We got to.
Okay, so if you release him before June 1st, we're talking about a nearly $17 million dead cap hit, resulting in a negative savings of 1.5 mil.
So you don't save that.
Yeah, and then but if you trade him, the team would save 3 mil. Dead cap would be 3 mil with 11 mil in savings. So that would be the best bet to try to trade him.
Yeah, so basically, if you try to cut him post June 1st, you don't get a bag of pork rinds and a ginger ale.
Man, even with the post June, hold on one second.
Miss Kiera said Penix better chill on them hot dogs and wings this offseason. He needs to eat better. Those foods inflame his body. That's absolutely true.
Hey, now you got to make sure you're eating the right foods. I'm telling you. Let's see. Dead cap. Let me see. 14. 2026 savings would be 0. Let's see. 2027 would be. You'll get 1.5, but you're not saving a lot. You're not saving.
That's the thing, man. When it comes to this cap space, man, it can get tricky. And that's why I said you kick the can down the road. They did it with McGarry last year. So when you keep kicking the can down the road, that's the thing. And we told you about Jake Matthews, why he's going to retire your Falcon. You can't get rid of that contract. You can't. So, look, I think he's like $38 million in dead cap space at this point. So he's going to retire your Falcon, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, pre-June.
Any last words before we get out of here?
Oh, my bad. I was just looking at some contract stuff. But no, man, it's just, hey, man, as always, thank y'all.
Go ahead. Run it.
Oh,
if
no.
you want to talk contract, we can take a couple more questions.
Looking at McGarry, and I was just like, shoot, man, just looking at that pre-June 1st, it just doesn't do anything for you like this year, but it would have to be 2027 pre-June 1st. You when you would have like I said, that 15 million of savings, but shoot, man, like they're gonna have to get kind of creative with that with salary cap, like seriously, because you got a couple contracts, and again, looking at Jake's contract, there's no point in restructuring it anymore. I just feel like you should just roll with it, or if you get desperate enough, you can try to cut him if he's not being productive. But it's gonna be a nice dead cap because they've been like Smitty said.
I think Jake gonna be productive no matter how old he is. He just has that shit in his blood, man. Because his uncle Clay played for the Falcons I think Clay was almost 40 years old when he played linebacker for the Falcons in the 90s. He had to be close to 40 because he's got to be close to 70 now. So he's up there. So look, it's in his blood. Yeah, his dad. Yeah, his dad played 17, 18 years. So,
and then he just been an Iron Man regardless. Even when we thought, like even this season when he went down with the ankle injury, it was like, oh, that's probably gonna be Jake down for a few games. Man, Jake was back out there the next game. Like, what you talking about? Just an Iron Man, man.
You can hop on a plane after your baby was born.
Bro,
you're an MVP, my boy.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, I feel like he's a great example, it's like to learn from. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do the whole thing with the baby or whatever, I mean, that's on your own prerogative, but just you think a person is down, and then if they be like, hey man, if I can go at all, I'm gonna get out there for my teammates. So again, man, I always salute the nephews regardless.
Facts. But I got one more thing to talk about before we get out of here, man.
Okay.
I got to talk about defensive rookie of the year, man. It's a total disgrace. I mean, what has this shit come to, man? Because let's keep it real, bro. If you look at Jerry Verse last year, Jerry Verse had a great season last year. Well, he only had he had 4 sacks or 6 sacks or something like that. But he wasn't close to 10.5. And the crazy part about it, look, Nick Emeagwari, I wanted him out of South Carolina last year. He had a beast of a season. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But if you wanted to get out of Ward away, you should have given Emeagwari instead of Schwarzenegger, because if you talk about records and impact, how did he impact a team that only won 4 games last year? Let me know, because I want to know 4 or 5 games. I don't know how many it was. It wasn't many. But how can he impact it for 4 to 5 win team when Watts and JPJ 10.5 sacks for JPJ, 5 interceptions, which was second in the NFL, and 96 tackles. How can you overlook either one of those guys? And they had the only guy on the list the team had a winning record was Emeagwari. So I'm confused as to how he goes.
I don't know, man. I don't know what. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect, the kid for the Browns. He did have, looking at his stats, he did have a good year. But again, it's just the sack numbers, and again the interception numbers are just like at the end of the day, we're talking about taking the ball away, and we're talking about ending possessions and stuff like that. And what those guys were necessarily doing. I mean, you're making a whole lot of tackles because your defense, up there, through the middle and the secondary is, pretty subpar. So it's just like, of course, you're gonna be making a lot of tackles and everything like that. But I just to have what I think JPJ maybe had like 2 votes and Xavier had 1. I don't agree with that at all. And then even he had like 7.
Right.
So, yeah, man. I don't think it's they have an agenda against the Falcons. Darn it. That's why.
Think about it, bro. I looked up the total tackles and assisted tackles. And Xavier Watts damn near had more tackles than he did. Think about that. When he had damn near 100 assisted tackles, not solo tackles, but assisted tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just utter bullshit, man. I just don't get it. But Tay said he had some tackles. He had so many tackles because the defense stayed on the field.
That's what I'm saying.
Couldn't do nothing. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. You seen some of them Brown games, you looking at it, the score is like nine to the 12, and you just like, come on, man. The defense is going back and forth. Offenses ain't talking about nothing, and it's just, again, you're going to rack those up. A lot of that stuff is empty calories. That's what you call empty calories right there. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I look at it like this. Forget the NFL honors. Forget it.
Yeah.
All I'm looking at is go out there and perform.
I think Bijan got robbed too. I say it, but I'm not mad at JSN winning Offensive Player of the Year, because I love to see some other than a quarterback or a running back win the award, and wide receiver finally getting respect. So I can respect that, even though Bijan had more yards from scrimmage. I can respect JSN and the team had a winning record. Hell, they in the Super Bowl, so I can respect that. But at the same time, if you're talking about numbers, Atlanta win across the board, because Bijan, most yards from scrimmage. Then you look at JPJ 10.5 sacks, that hasn't been done since 2021. Talk about Watts, 5 interceptions, second in the league, tied for second in the league. So look, let's keep it real. Atlanta won across the board. King ATL want to know about Kyle Pitts. Should he get resigned? I'll let you answer that, and then we'll close it out. Go ahead.
Kyle Pitts resign. I mean, I feel like anything, Kyle Pitts may get tagged. I think he may get tagged. And then if you want to keep him, you could. But if not, you can always try to trade him away as well. I know he wants to get paid, but I think he gets tagged. That's what I'm thinking.
Listen at that press conference, knowing that they want to build this team from within, he does get tagged, but I also think he gets traded. Yeah, and they're going to take the highest bidder. And let's be real, there will be a team out there, if they're at the bottom of the first round, they will give you that first round pick back. And I think that's what it's going to depend on. If they call Atlanta and say, hey, we at the bottom of the first round, Kyle Pitts will be a good fit for our team. Take this first round pick and give us Kyle Pitts, and we'll probably give you a first round pick and maybe a backup tight end back. I mean, it could work that way, because honestly, I would love Pitts to come back because of the way he brings that mismatch on the field. But at the same time, as we've been telling y'all, there are tight ends in the draft and there are free agent tight ends that can come in and do the same thing Kyle Pitts is doing. They can be a mismatch if they know how to use them properly.
Well, yeah, because my thing is, you can't lose Kyle Pitts for nothing. You drafted him as the highest, some tight end ever taken. And regardless, even if you didn't get full, some return of the investment on him, I don't think you should just let him walk out the door. I don't think you should just try to let him walk out the door like that. At least tag him. That's going to be about 14 to 16 mil. Tag them, and then try to see if some negotiations can be worked out even further. If not, then hey, it is what it is. We'll see where it goes from there, because it can go like a few different ways. But you just can't let them walk out the door. I don't think that would be smart. You don't have to.
Facts. And like I said, if he want too much, hey, you trade him and let the other team worry about that. They'll give him a new deal if they have the cap space. If not, hey, it'll be a 1-year deal with them. He'll be right back in free agency next year. I mean, it can always work out that we can come back and get him next year. Who knows? But yeah, man, tell everybody where to find you, A1.
Hey, man, A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Come on over, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Be a part of the A1 family. Love to have you. Also, same for the Hawks Digest, man. Again, NBA trade deadline just passed, and man, we was hitting it, saying as many times as Sean's was coming out saying anything about the Atlanta Hawks, we was on it. So, man, y'all make sure y'all come over there and be a part of the Hawks Digest family as well. Twitter, A1 Forever. Instagram, A1 Forever. And the real A1 Forever on TikTok, man. Give your boy a follow.
Facts, man. Y'all go over there. A1 been busy the last 2 days, man. Bringing out that Hawks content, NBA content in general. So he breaks down the trade for Buddy Hield. Who else?
Jonathan Kuminga.
Kuminga and Jock Landale. He breaks down all of that, man. So y'all please go over there and check that out. hit that subscribe button. And speaking of subscribe button, y'all help A1 get to 5,000, man. He's halfway there. He's at about 45. Where are you at?
I think I'm like 45, getting close to 46, man. I'm just working.
Yeah, so he got a little bit over 400 left. So y'all go help him get to 500 subscribers on YouTube, man. Keep helping him build that platform. Also, man, right here, you can catch me at Smitty Sports Machine. They give y'all my latest on draft targets, NFL free agent targets, and trade targets. And also give y'all my draft profiles, man. So y'all just stay tuned, man, because we just getting started with this off season. For my boy A1, we gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Never know when the next pop-up show gonna happen. So y'all keep the notification bells on, and we gonna holler at y'all later, man.